Oh, you got to press play, eh?
Press play.
Oh.
Would you please
Hello, eh?
welcome from a place called Winnipeg? I've been here at gas stations. I've been learning about tires. I've been talking to grease monkeys. I've been working on cars. Moose jaw saw a few moose of it too. Running back to Saskatoon. Red deer tears an innocent hat. Singing another prairie tune. Singing another prairie tune. I've been hanging around libraries.
Raising the roof.
All right, raise the roof. Bringing back a Rod Stickler old school intro there.
Classic.
Because we decided to do a part 2, kind of caught us off guard, so we didn't get a chance to do another intro. So we just used the classic Faulty Towers, which is not a Canadian TV show, as you can see,
Right.
but it is an English TV show that we watched in Canada. So it kind of by proxy is a Canadian TV show.
Sure. It
Yeah,
helped
we were-
create a Canadian content show. Yeah.
Rybo,
Yeah,
what was-
we were inundated with
yes.
English TV and especially Monty Python.
Yeah.
Faulty Towers was just huge for us, for sure.
I think
Massive.
because I think we had the CBC, which is a cousin of the BBC, so all of those shows would be played on there. So lots of stuff to
Yes.
discuss today. We got a great show. Rob, I want to kick it off for you. The shirt that I'm wearing this week, I wanted to check it out and just wanted to tell you the reason behind it. So it's Cliff Burton, and it says pancakes. So Charlie Benante from Anthrax drew this. He's an
No
amazing
way.
artist. Yes, he's an amazing artist. And
Are you serious? He drew that picture
Yes.
of Cliff Burton.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
I'm impressed.
So it says pancakes because when on the last tour that Metallica did, when Cliff passed away, Anthrax was opening that tour,
Yes.
and Cliff and Charlie were hanging out before the show, and Charlie said, "Hey, what does James say before the guitar solo in Master of Puppets?" And Cliff said, "Pancakes. I think it's pancakes." Now,
Yes.
of course, we know it's "Fix 'em, eh?"
Yeah.
But to this day, if you ever watch Metallica play Master of Puppets, because Charlie told Hetfield this when they did the Big Four,
Right.
Hetfield always says pancakes.
Oh, that's great.
So you can get this online if you would like a Cliff Burton pancake
That's
shirt.
really good.
Made
Excellent
by
drawing.
Benante. So
Very, very cool.
very cool. So there you
I
go.
love
Just
it. I
wanted
love
to
it.
kick it off with that because I had this shirt, so I thought I would wear it. But we're talking about Canadian TV shows part 2. Lots of stuff going on. It's actually pretty funny because we had a request the other day for this next segment, and I actually do have a story about it. Of course, we're talking about one of our favorites, very lovable, but always making the wrong decisions. We're talking about Porkski.
Oh.
Porkski, nah, nah. Porkski, nah, nah. He always makes the wrong decision.
So I'm on the plane today, and I've been drinking a lot of water. There's a lot of water going on. I know you got a lot of water coming. Paul Stanley, Manitoba.
Manitoba flood.
So I have to go to the bathroom. So I get up and I always sit in the window. So it's a thing. It's actually almost like Chris's rant. I'll put that up right now. So it's almost like I gotta get up, and it's the old thing. Can you please excuse me? And guys got to get up so that I can get by, and the fuckers in front have their seats laid back. So you got to try and get away from them, and it's just a thing. So I finally get out into the alleyway. I go up to the bathroom in the front part of the cabin, and the stewardess, flight attendant, has the fucking beverage cart sideways because the pilot's going to the bathroom. Now, I get it. I lived through 9/11. You're not allowed to, go into the bathroom when the pilot's there because heaven forbid you just walk into the cockpit. Fine. She goes, you got to go sit back down again because the pilot is in the bathroom. And you can't stand here. I'm like, well, why? She goes, well, you can't stand here when the pilot's in the bathroom. I'm like, well, that's stupid. She goes, just go to the back bathroom. And I'm pissed off now because I hate wearing the fucking mask on the plane. I hate all the stupid shit that you have to do. So I'm like, why do I have to go either back to my seat where I got to get the guy to get back up? He's on the computer. He's got to pick up his computer, move out of the way. And he's got the look on his face like, sorry, I got to go pee. So that I don't want to go back into the seat.
Definitely.
But I don't want to walk all the way to the back of the plane either. That's a long way to go. And there's people waiting for the bathroom there. I said, I'll just wait. And I hear the flush of the toilet.
Yeah.
So another guy's coming up. She goes, sir, you can't stand here. I'm like, okay. Now I'm starting to think like, you know, you start getting like I'm a 360 on Delta, which is like the top of the top. I got 3 million miles. They sent me a little card that says you got 3 million miles. It's not worth fuck all, but they sent me the card. And like, what am I supposed to do? Start throwing down status? No, I'm standing there waiting. And then
I'm on Winnipeggers. Damn it.
I'm kind of stalling. And then I kind of wander to the back. And then I turn around and look, and she's staring at me. And then I walk a little bit further back and I turn around and look and she's still staring at me. And I'm like, okay, now I just look like the biggest loser ever. Like I'm such a loser. I won't walk 20 feet to the back because I keep stopping every 2 feet, looking back at her,
See if you can
hoping that the guy will be done in the bathroom. And she's giving me, and I'm like, now I feel really stupid because I just walked to the back. By the time I was stand up, giving this lady the stink eye, I could have walked to the back, went for the pisky, been back to my seat, moved the guy out of the way and sat down. But I didn't want to walk, like because I was being a Porkski.
You're pulling a Porkski. Totally.
I pulled a Porkski.
You
So I
got
finally
busted.
walked to the back, and when I get to the very back, I look, and I swear to God, I in my mind's eye, I think she was still staring at me, angry. And I was like, you know, and then she comes by later with the snack thing. I don't even want anyone to look at her. Like, fuck, leave me alone, right?
Leave me alone.
Yeah. So a little bit, yeah. So I always make the wrong decision as Porkski, and that was one of them today. If Porkski was a 360 member, though, he might have done the same thing.
I think so.
Yeah.
But that first time when I turned around, like I walk and I turn, and she's like this, and I'm like, oh, now I feel like a real loser.
She was tough.
She
That's the
was.
worst.
Now she's looking at me like, seriously, just walk to the back. And I was like,
We all pull a Porkski every once in a while.
City Bob.
what's that?
We all pull a Porkski every once in a while.
We really do. But what we don't pull is our pewds when we go snow. What's it called?
Snowshoeing, snowboarding, tobogganing.
Tobogganing.
Ice
There's great hills in Winnipeg for tobogganing. Slippery carpet, the magic carpet, crazy carpet. That's what it is. And we had a great time when we grew up in Winnipeg with the amazing ski hill, snowboarding hill, tobogganing hill.
Made out of garbage.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And
It's
then
our
a hill.
sponsor this week. Thanks to Garbage Hill for being our great sponsor here on the Winnipeggers this week.
Nice yaw.
You may think that the Manitoba prairies are completely flat. This is not so. For proof, look no further than Garbage Hill, located in the industrial core of Winnipeg. This historic site has gone by many different names, including the Saskatchewan Avenue Dump, the Big Green Hill, Lills Hill, and the Westview Hill Landfill. The track up the south side of the hill is the steepest in the city at approximately 22 degrees. This 10-acre parcel of land was originally sold in the late 1880s for use as a garbage dump, specializing in dead animals, manure, ash, glass, and sewage. The perfect place to spend time with your friends, family, partners, lovers, romantic interest, and the like. One of the city's most valued treasures, this 50 years of garbage has been transformed into the best quality fun for activities day or night, summer or winter. Sure, for the first few years of recreational operation, smoke would occasionally appear above the surface of the park due to the high temperatures deep within it, up to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. This off-leash dog area is also the perfect place to photograph sunrises, sunsets, city views, storms, fireworks, and pollution, thanks to the fact that no trees grow here. Garbage Hill, where would you rather spend your time?
Beautiful.
Oh, that's great.
All right, let's discuss this. This is a real place called
Yeah.
Garbage Hill where we did go tobogganing was the word. Sorry, I was still fuddled and befuddled from the Porkski experience. But we would go tobogganing with our crazy carpet. See, I can speak now to this hill. And it, like Rybo said, it was at the garbage dump. So it was apparently made of garbage. Would they put like sod over it or something?
Yeah, it was basically like 50 years of garbage, and it was just at a certain point it was full, and they said, "Look, this towering pile of infernal garbage has to be done. We can't keep adding to it." And they just said, "Well, let's just turn it into a park. What are we going to do with it? We're going to sod
Covered
it
up.
sod over it, they grew some grass. No trees would grow there, and for the first few years, you can look this up on Wikipedia if you believe that shit. And it literally says that there's smoke was seen coming up. So they had this. They wanted to have a concession stand there and stuff, and sell like they have a bathroom and sell like food and stuff. But they're like, well, there's
little
smoke
hot
coming
dog
up
stand
from this.
No, hold on.
horrible
Explain
stuff.
why was there smoke coming up from the hill?
Because
they
it was
burned
just,
the garbage, and when they covered it with sod, there was still the
still
soot
embers?
and everything. Yeah, embers and stuff.
and it's just basically turns to natural gas, and natural gas. It's all this rotting decay of animals turning into natural gas that you can see rising up into the atmosphere.
The dump is a fascinating place.
Let me just clarify this for everybody watching. This is where we grew up. Tobogganing on a hill of garbage that's still smoldering because they didn't put it out before they put fucking sod over top of it for us to fucking toboggan down on. And you wonder why we're so nuts.
Yeah,
You're lucky we're
no
not
kidding.
drunk all the time.
It explains a few things for sure.
So and I also like the fact that you did the research, aka Rybo research, to know that it was also called Lil's Hill.
Yes.
Lil's Hill.
Yes. There, a woman named Lillian something. You see, you're calling me on it now, but she was the one that was in charge of. She was the one in charge of how are we going to deal with this like horrible thing in the middle of the city. And she's like, let's make a park out of it. So she's the one that decided to make a park out of it, and it's beautiful. And there was a lot of other cool things that happened there too. Core Fest, which happened every year. For many years, which was a heavy metal punk concert they would have. They would set up a concert at this garbage hill.
Garbage.
I think Infernal Garbage played there. That was a
Garbage.
I think Cookie Monster actually with his Cookie Monster vocals.
Dave, you actually do a pretty good Cookie Monster vocal. Maybe that's a new direction for you.
Garbage.
There you go.
Circus.
Garbage. What a fucking show. Like, is anybody? Thank you for watching our show, because we do nothing other than entertain ourselves, and thank goodness that some of you are entertained by us as well.
Yeah. Love
Garbage. So, Rybo, is there actually like that Hollywood Hills sign on this? Is Garbage Hill?
Someone actually put that up as a joke in like the 80s or the 90s, and I think it actually is up in a museum somewhere or something like that.
There's a Garbage Hill museum. There's a town after Garbage Hill. You can buy a Slurpee, Garbage Hill Slurpee. The whole city went crazy over the place.
That's how sad we are as a city that we actually have garbage is our like number one.
We got fuck all going on there.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, Garbage Hill.
Thanks, Garbage Hill.
Thanks.
And thanks to the family for more great comments. Still buzzing over last week's show and the show before that, of course, which was the Idiot Winter Olympics. Bridget Hewlett said, rants in ski goggles. What more can a person ask for? Spewy made my day.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Robert Schulenberger, that son of a bitch, says, thank you for reading my comment on this week's episode of Winnipeggers. I think it's safe to say that Spewy and I have mended our fences and buried the hatchet between us. Do you agree with that, Dave?
I wasn't listening. I don't know about that. This guy.
We should be nice.
Yeah. No, for sure. We're fine. I didn't know we ever had a problem, to be honest, but
I think
I'm glad you're over it.
I think it was one of those double shows where you were just super loaded and got mad at him for something.
Wow.
Kind of like on the live show when you said that Spewy's off his rocker and that bothered you.
Yeah. People keep that shit to yourself, trying to do a show here.
The guy probably deserved it, I think.
I think so.
I'm on Dave's side.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right. Reagan Walker, Chris, I'm sorry for calling you out for cheating. I was being sarcastic. I love you, and please forgive me. But yeah, everyone's forgiven. Robert Schulinger, Reagan Walker, we're just joking.
Yeah.
We love every member of the family, and if we ever say anything derogatory, you just play along. We're just you're guys part of the show.
We really love you.
But we do still blame, like Dave and I still blame me for cheating because you were cheating. But that's okay. But I'm over it. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
I did do the best Gilbert Gottfried blind drawing, and that's all that matters.
Well, the neck was separated from the body. It had its own thing going on. But
yeah, you did have the body.
Michael Kindell enjoyed the show. Chris, I like the show. Okay, that's all.
Wow. Thank you.
Ash Demon Gaming, guys, this is the best show. There you go. And there's just a couple other kind of
lots of comments,
random comments. But Dave, I mean, you've been talking a lot about the family. They're
I love
all
the
over
family.
the place. I mean, you want to have a shout out?
I will. Yeah, but I keep names. I take numbers, and I'm gonna give a little thing here.
Keep track of this sort of thing.
I do.
Great.
Well, hi, family. Welcome to episode 84, I believe, 85 of Winnipeggers. I want to give a shout out to some of our most loyal fans that we've met over this time period together. Jerry Williams from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, home of the NBA champs, Milwaukee Bucks, and Jeffrey Dahmer. Say hi to the Fawns and Squiggy for us, Jerry, from Ryan, Chris, and I, the Winnipeggers. Old Richard Bondarchuk from Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Say hi to the Loafing Jug and Hector's Auto Body. My car's going in next week. Hee 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 hee. Oh, good old Cheryl Peel from Orange County, California. Say hi to Tiger Woods, Diane Keaton, and Avenged Sevenfold for us. Those boys rock and roll. Winnipeggers loves you, Cheryl Peel. We love you with all our heart. I only have a couple more. James Anders, all the way from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Say hi to Dan Aykroyd and Paul Anka. Hold me. Is that a song? Who gives a shit? Winnipeggers love you, James. Irv-ass, Rybo, and Speed, we love you. And we love everyone. Brad Blackwell from Toulon, Manitoba. You say hi to Lori Mustard and the local mailman for us here at Winnipeggers. We love you like crazy. And don't you take that serious. He doesn't mean to F off. We love you. Bye, family.
Lori Mustard. Yeah, baby.
A Lori Mustard and a
Paul Anka.
Oh, Paul Anka.
My little bit. I gotta get a little more music.
Have you guys ever heard that tape where Paul Anka's like yelling? It's like a Buddy Rich tape where Paul Anka, he's yelling at his band. And he's like, you guys, if you guys don't listen to me, I'll fire you. And that's just the fucking way it is. My good friend Pot of Thunder used that quite often. What's that, Rybo?
The Buddy Rich one was great too, where he like kicks the guy off the bus in the middle of the fucking desert. He's like, "Get the fuck off my bus!" He's like, it's a desert out there. Fuck you. He leaves.
All this available on YouTube, which you shouldn't watch until you watch the Winnipeggers first.
That's right.
We're going to continue with Canadian TV shows. There's so much to talk about. That we had to do a part 2. And to introduce us, we had Robin Duke last episode. One of the most amazing.
Tony Rosada. No, he's dead.
Who is that?
Tony Rosada. I thought it was this time, but he's dead. I think he's dead.
No, he's here.
This is him now?
Oh, it's maybe not the Tony Rosada.
Oh,
sorry.
Different one.
I'll give you $20 later. Kind of left without a guest, except we do have a guest, another great Canadian comedy legend, and my co-star. But I'm Chris Jericho.
No.
A great show for you guys to watch, Canadian show. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Colin Mochrie is here.
Hey there, Winnipeggers. Colin Mochrie from Whose Line Is It Anyway here, international comedy icon, and of course, role model to pretty much everyone on the planet as we know today. Also, little known fact, I was Ryan Reynolds' body double in Deadpool 1 and 2. He doesn't talk about it. He's a little jealous. Anyway, I've been asked by Irv-ass to say hi to the Winnipeggers. Hey, Winnipeggers. Speewee, Rybo, and Irv-ass. Interesting names to all of you. Irv-ass also wanted me to tell you my favorite Canadian TV shows, past and present. Well, as you know, I've had a long past. I guess it started for me with, of course, children's shows. Friendly Giant. Chez Helene. Do you remember that? Maybe not. Little Mouse. Susie. Come on, please tell me you remember. Mr. Dress-Up, of course. Forest Rangers with Gordon Pinsent, one of our national treasures.
Wow, nice.
What else did I? Party Game, with Billy Van and others playing charades. And of course, all the way up to the present, how can you not enjoy Schitt's Creek, international hit, Kim's Convenience, again, and of course, a Corner Gas. We're so lucky we've had so many great shows, and it seems like we're finally catching on, not only around the world where we've had no problem, but here in Canada. So thank you, Canada. I guess the only thing that's going to make this special, even more, This is Colin Mochrie. Thanks for all you do. That's here for Canadian programming. Everyone shout Yahoo! I hope this little hoedown gives you quite a lift. Irv-ass spent $5,000 on this gift. I would have done this for free, but why tell him? You guys got to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe.
Thanks, Colin.
Now, let me just explain something to you. Now, once again, as you know, we book these guests. I never say who I am. I've worked with Colin Mochrie a number of times but I'm Chris Jericho, shameless plug, but guys, check it out if you're looking for a fun show. And Colin Mochrie plays my rival. I know Dave and Rybo haven't watched the show, doesn't even know what it is.
I did watch it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks. So Colin Mochrie is my rival on the show in season 1 and season 2, where we legit hate each other on the show. Like, we're constantly trying to one up each other. Like, one of my favorites is that I can't even remember what it was. Somebody wants to talk to Chris Jericho, and she's a war hero who has she got shot in the leg, and I'm bearing her to my agent. Like, why would I want to talk? Like, I'm like a real dick. Like, why would I want to talk to this lady? I don't give a shit who she is, and she's on speakerphone, which I did not know. So Colin Mochrie agrees to take her to the dance, and I'm at the dance, and so we get in a big fisticuff fight. And he's the best guy ever. He's super funny, and he's on the Winnipeggers to talk about Canadian shows part 2. So there you go.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Great guy.
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's continue on. We talked about a lot of great ones last time, and there's a lot more to go. We barely even scratched the proverbial surface. Dave, you want to start today?
I could, yeah. Let's start with here's one that I don't know if you guys were into, but this is an interesting one because it only had 2 episodes, and we're talking
The Martin Short Show.
No, close. December 1st, and the Gorgeous George Show on VP. Yeah. Now this is an obscure channel called VPW or West of the Red.
Gorgeous George Revine?
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Okay.
He had the Martin Short Show.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I didn't hear you properly. December 1st, 1985.
Gorgeous George show actually.
Yeah, George Revine on VPW Channel 11. Now that's something you.
Like he had a spin-off? Jeez Louise.
My gosh.
From the mean streets of downtown with fellows.
Almost
okay, Anne of Green Gables had 2 episodes only. Each episode was an hour and 30 minutes each. December 1st, 85 to December 2nd, 85. Won an Emmy and won a ton of Canadian awards. And it was the story of Anne of Green Gables just doing what she does.
Why did it?
Is this your prepared for? Is this your Ingmar Bergman fucking Canadian?
I don't know if you two watched the same shows as I did as a child. The Anne of Green Gables, orphan girl, wonderful orphan girl, beautiful hair. And
was that the girl who was blind and deaf?
No, that was a girl from Little House on the Prairie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Helen Keller.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah,
she was not in Little House on the Prairie, by the way.
I thought Helen Keller was part of.
She was. That's right. Michael Landon Keller was his name, I think.
Helen Keller.
Anyway, the littlest hobo in Canada.
All right. Well, Dave, you started that off with a fucking fart.
Anne of Green Gables.
That's fine. I like that. Can you please deliver all of your reports with that same accent, please?
Sure.
What you got next, Rybo?
Save my terrible material I have.
Okay, so one thing that was absolutely huge when I was younger, like when I was like 11, 12 years old, the biggest show in the world at the time was Fraggle Rock.
Oh, good call.
Jim Henson, from the Muppets, right? It was just ridiculous. It had like the beginning, the song. Everyone loved the song. I'm not going to sing the song. Down in Fraggle Rock.
Not everyone loves that song. Okay, never cared for Fraggle Rock.
Whenever I think of that song, I think of the Ewok song. Down on Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, good call. It's the same.
Same thing, right? Down on Fraggle Rock.
They ripped it from Fraggle Rock.
At the end, the Jedi celebration at the end of Return of the Jedi. in the forest is
Good
what
call.
we're talking about. The
You're
forest.
hearing it here. You're hearing it here on episode 85.
And it's totally true.
We're just busting everybody that steals anything.
And Stephen Brogren, your band, by the way. We haven't
true.
forgotten about you, Snake.
He's coming up next week on a list.
Next
That's
week,
right. He's
Or
on the
3
list
weeks
next
from now.
week.
Or 2
We didn't
weeks.
have time to put him on the list this week, but he's banned next week.
Yeah.
Anyway, Fraggle Rock was basically like an uglier version of the Ewoks, and
Uglier version.
instead of Wicket, you had Gobo, Moki, Red, Wembley, and Boober.
Ugh.
And they would seek the advice from Marjorie, the trash heap. And, they'd eat the confectionery constructions that the doozers would make, and they would try to hide themselves and protect themselves from the disgusting and horrible, huge monsters called the Gorgs.
The show gave me so much young kid anxiety. I can't tell you. There's too much stuff going in and out of that show. Too much going on that show.
Hey, Rybo,
I know you would love it.
Can I make a request? Can we get a future commercial for a Fraggle Rock sponsorship? Because you just listed up those names and it's a total.
Yeah.
Turbo and Beagle and Beagle and Blow and Mother Teresa and the garbage can and whatever.
There we go, man. I'll go through it next week, you guys, or whenever you get around to it. We'll come up with it.
We'll figure it out. Who knows? We might be signed by then.
Yeah.
Because as we always say, guys, the moment we get signed,
We're done with you
dropping all
guys.
your asses. You will never
Screw
see
this
anything
show.
again.
This show is just
You'll never have
bullshit.
access. You guys should appreciate the fact you can ask us questions and have access now. Because when we sign with the corporation, that shit comes to an end.
You guys are done. We'll be done. We're not even going to talk to each other. Just separate dressing rooms. Show up on the camera. That's it. Bye. No buys.
We're
Forget
turning
the
into the
buzz.
police.
Van
I'm
Halen.
going to put up my microphone so I can't even see Spewy. I'm going to write. I'm going to write "Kunt" on the.
I love it.
All right. So, nice. So what I'm going to go with is a very obscure one, but I think Rybo will appreciate it. I'm talking about Seeing Things. And Seeing Things is a CBC show starring the amazing
Louis Del Grande from Scanners.
Yes, how do you remember his name? Louis Del Grande and Rybo for the extra bonus point. Who loved Louis Del Grande that we're both friends with?
Well, probably Kevin Smith.
No, Dano. Dio.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Because I remember one time we were watching Cheap Ass and I was like, is that Louis Del Grande? And Dano just lost it. He's like, where did you pull that from? So Louis Del Grande was an actor. He was in Scandals, which is another Canadian movies is a whole other show. We don't even want to get into that. And he played a detective who had psychic powers. So they would bring him to a murder set,
Crime scene,
a murder scene, and he would sit there and he would seeing things. And he would see who the killer was by touching the dead bodies and all that sort of stuff. And he would then have adventures when he would try and actually catch the killer. But Louis Del Grande was kind of a normal looking guy, kind of a little mustache, bald, complete like friar tuck bald around the back.
With glasses. He kind of looked like David Cross. David Cross could totally do a Louis Grande.
Looked like David Cross. And
another thing about him too is that his character's name was Louis. I love when they do that. It's like when the actor we were talking about before the last episode actually, where you're Robin Duke, where she's like, I couldn't remember his name. I kept calling him Daniel instead of. It's like when you're so dumb that you need to be like you're Tony Danza and your name needs to be Tony every time someone calls you Jeffrey, you don't look over and it's like, hey, let's just go with Tony. Okay, Tony Danza. We're just gonna call you Tony. Tony, hey, what's that? Okay, it works now.
And that wasn't just one time. That was like every single show he was on.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
Wow. And Louis de Grande might have been the same thing. I'm not sure.
There you go.
Total David Cross.
Total David Cross. Or like 50 guys from that time frame. You're talking late 70s. Like everybody looked like that, right?
Good point. Good point.
Louis Del Grande Seeing Things. All right, Dave.
Well, here's one you might remember. I just love that you guys. Thank God you're on this show because I just made a list with here. This one. Don't remember watching it. The Alan Thicke Show.
Oh,
now this was a talk show from 1980 to 1983 in Canada.
Wow.
Good guy, but bad show. Real piece of shit. It's got a 2 out of 10 on the internet right now. Back then there was no internet. It had even a worse rating.
Dave, this would be pre-growing pains then. This is just Alan Thicke in
That's
Canada.
correct. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I do kind of recall a little bit of that, but yeah.
Yeah,
you
it's
guys
just
know I played hockey with Alan Thicke twice.
Oh, yeah.
In Madison Square Garden at the Christopher Reeve Super Skate. So
who is a better hockey player, you or Alan Thicke?
Do I really have to answer that?
Yes.
Do what you want.
Yeah, that's the same thing Bud Lindell
That's
said.
what Lindell told us.
Killer of dreams. He knew Alan Thicke was better than you back in the day. That's just what Bud said. Bud said Alan Thicke was better than you. He said Kirk Cameron was better than you.
Hey, Lindell.
He said Tracy Goldman was
fucking
better than
asshole.
You dream killer.
you. Bud Lindell said Tracy Goldman was better than you as a hockey player.
Oh, you're going to pull out a Tracy Goldman? What are you going to give me a Glenn Scarpelli next? Just so you know, it's Tracy Gold. And I went to Universal Studios in 1980 when I was a kid, and I met Tracy Gold and Glenn Scarpelli. So there you go.
Wow, that's cool.
So the Alan Thicke show. So Alan Thicke was a
Did
top
they give you any hockey tips?
Well, I got a tip for you. The tip of my clock. Okay, talk more about Alan Thicke Show.
Talk more about it. I wrote down a word. I'm just saying words tonight. It was Alan Thicke. I mean, no, he actually would have some Hollywood stars on, but it didn't last. It was not a good show at all. I think his biggest guest was Louis De Palma or somebody like that.
Louis Del Grande.
Louis Del Grande was his biggest.
You just go for a Louis De Palma.
Yeah.
That's not even a guy.
It's a character.
A character.
It's
Taxi,
Brian.
right?
It's
Yeah.
Brian De Palma. All right. So Rybo Research. Who am I? Jericho Research. Irv-ass. The Alan Thicke Show was a Canadian daytime talk show. Oh, it's daytime. It's even worse. Hosted by Alan Thicke, a replacement for the Alan Hamill Show. Who the fuck is that? Which ran from 76 to 80. It aired from 80 to 83. During its run, a highlight from the week's interviews were edited together. Thicke left the series in order to host a U.S. talk show, Thicke of the Night, and was replaced by Don Heron. The biggest guest Alan Thicke ever had was Louis De Palma. Wow. You were right.
Oh, God.
He had Danny DeVito on in character playing Louis De Palma from Taxi. Riga.
That's great.
Rybo, are you freezing?
I hope so.
Oh, no, it's cold.
I'm quite cold actually.
Well, he just get up, Rybo. You're next. Give us another great.
Dude, it's freezing in Winnipeg. You know what I've been doing lately? What every Winnipeggers has been doing is shoveling. That's all you do is you just shovel.
You look like you're in great shape. You look like you've been getting ripped from it.
We've broken the world record snowfall since 1872. More snow than ever since 1872, and that means a lot. You guys have lived through the 87 blizzard and all that stuff where people jumping up, whatever it was, jumping off roofs and stuff. Here is Mr. Wikipedia, Chris Jericho again.
Irv-ass.
Pancakes.
Pancakes, go! But anyway, I'm shoveling. Every day I'm shoveling, and it's got that party rock anthem going through my head with the last, that song. Every day I'm shoveling. Monday night shovel, Tuesday night shovel. Okay, anyway, so let's talk about
Rain Man shovel.
Where do we go?
Every Tuesday shovel. Every Tuesday shovel.
What happened to our show? Where are we?
Yeah, where are we on this show? I don't know.
Where are we?
Rybo went into the weather
3 minutes ago. We've gone way over as we always do on these things.
No, we still got one more each because we got
one more each. Dude, we have
leave out SCTV and leave out Kids in the Hall. We'll
okay, good call. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I think we should do an episode of who was the hottest Kids in the Hall guy in drag. We'll do that as the whole
Kevin
episode.
McDonald.
Yeah.
I think
Dave's already got his picks.
we're on a show.
I didn't have to think about it. Yeah, let's finish the show. I mean, let's do more.
Okay,
Whose
so
turn
let's
is
talk about. Here's a huge one. Wayne and Schuster.
Oh,
yeah, nice, good call.
Huge thing. One of the first shows on Canadian television, and they did some.
Research.
Yeah. You got to.
I remember.
It's no Anne of Green Gables, but continue.
I don't know if they won an Emmy. I'm not sure, but Wayne and Schuster was huge and one of the biggest and first sketch comedy shows that was on Canadian television. They had the Shakespearean baseball game, which was awesome.
Nice.
They did just like, and you will shoot first, Jeffrey, and John the second, and Richard the third. You know, you got to know your Shakespeare, and then it's
That's
quite funny.
Funny.
Great stuff. And one thing that was funny about that too is I don't know if you saw Norm Macdonald's last show, but when he had that last show that he did, at the end of every show, he did, well, I see it by that clock on the wall. That's time to bid you one and all. He actually did the Wayne and Schuster Good Night theme song every show of his last, and that was Norm Macdonald's last thing. He did that. He loved that. Obviously, he loved that. He's Canadian too, actually.
Yeah,
Norm Macdonald,
right.
Yeah, so he grew up watching that too, for sure. So.
Oh, that's such great. So, how does it? I see by the clock on the wall.
It's time to bid you one and all goodbye, farewell.
Adieu, au revoir.
Yeah.
And then la
Avita,
and good night until we meet again. I remember that.
Yeah, that's
you know
great.
what? You know what the world's missing nowadays is a wacky comedy duo wearing tuxedos.
Vaudeville, slapstick, all that stuff. It's all gone
I remember
now.
Wayne and Schuster, Frank Wayne and Johnny Schuster, or Johnny Wayne and Frank Schuster.
They were running guests on Ed Sullivan show. They were on more times than anyone else.
Damn.
This is Rybo research. 67 times on there.
That's awesome, man. I was doing a Lars. That's when Lars gets excited. He snaps his fingers.
Oh,
it's
God.
Fucking great.
Too thick.
Rival research is the fucking best. It's crazy shit. It's so fucking nutty. I'm just winging it here. I got to think of one more. You can listen. We've got, because listen, there's so many more to go. But let me just throw out a Canadian show that when we were kids was huge for 30 fucking years, and no one really knows why. I'm talking about the Beachcombers. So the Beachcombers was I guess it was in Vancouver or something, or like somewhere in British Columbia, and it was
somewhere where they had water.
Right, and here's a riveting
Vancouver,
concept.
I think. Yeah.
Well, Irv-ass, what was the show about? It was about loggers.
Pretty much.
You're like, what? Loggers. So what do the loggers do? So Bruno Gerussi, who was some kind of weird sex symbol in the 70s, which if you look him up, it's like, how is he a sex symbol? But he played Nick Papadopoulos, who was a Greek guy that lived he lived on the shoreline of this British Columbia logging town, and he was in charge of logging. And he had some friends. Jesse Jim was the First Nation friend, and then he had a couple. There's a diner where old ladies made food for them, and then there was the big evil bad guy, who of course was Relic.
Irv-ass research rules.
I love how you're just you're just describing the show, which is a drama, by the way, and we're laughing our heads off.
Can you please help me out here? What the hell happened on this show?
Who's the sex symbol was the main character?
Yeah, Bruno Gerussi.
He looked like David Suzuki. How the hell was that a sex symbol?
Well, because he was a German. He was a Greek guy.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe he was Italian with a name like Gerussi. That could be Italian. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, beautiful man.
He ate
Beautiful.
lots of pasta, probably.
Great waist on him, if I remember right.
Couple veiny. Look at this. Here he is. Now, is this a sex symbol?
Yeah.
Only in Canada. Only in Canada.
Looks like he's somehow related to Burton Cummings.
I was going to say, he looks like a jacked up Burton Cummings.
Yeah.
Burton Cummings on the gas.
Burton Cummings and Joe Pesci had a baby together. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. But the Beachcombers aired literally for like 27 seasons.
Holy crap.
Huge hit. But once again, it's like Coronation Street. If you guys ever heard about that. It aired in England for 50 years. Like, who's watching this show? Actually, 19 seasons. It went from 72 to 91. Bruno Gerussi was Nick Andopoulos. Pat John was Jesse Jim. Robert Clothier was Relic, the asshole. Jackson Davies was the cop. Lots of wacky fun happening on the Beachcombers. Wow. Over 350 episodes, is one of the longest running dramatic series ever made for English language Canadian television. I'm David Lee Roth. Oh, yeah. So that's
loggers.
All right. If we could do another show, we're going to have to do some research because I think we're pretty much at the end of our ropes here. I don't know.
Yeah, we got do other shows on this. Part 3's coming up next week. Did I speak too soon?
What ails me?
Well, what ails you?
Insomnia.
True story. True story. We'll have to do a whole show on like Canadian game shows. We didn't even touch that. But,
we didn't. Yeah. And we didn't even talk about.
We didn't even talk about. That's how bad
That's a
it
good
was.
one too. That's a good
That
one.
was
We
one.
didn't talk
Oh,
about
wow.
SCTV, Kids in the Hall.
Oh, Trailer Park Boys.
Trailer Park Boys.
Good point.
Yeah,
I
we got
tried to
lots.
get Trailer Park Boys to be on the show, but Bubbles isn't currently doing cameos. So Bubbles.
Yeah, yeah. Call us,
Yeah.
Bubs.
Maybe you can get one of the other ones. I'm sure it'd be a lot cheaper.
I don't know.
Bubble-
You were bagging on me for the cheap intro last time of Lon.
Wow, I heard Lon's getting a check. He told me.
Yeah, he is getting a check. Yeah. I don't know if it was worth it, but anyways, thank you guys for being here today. Another just amazing show. Probably one of our best. I mean,
Anne of Green Gables.
thanks to Garbage Hill.
Yes,
thanks to the
Garbage
amazing
Hill.
Colin Mochrie. Once again, check out But I'm Chris Jericho. It's a fun little show we did. It's on YouTube, and Colin Mochrie and I hate each other, and we hate each other in real life too. And if you like any of these other shows that we talked about, please go watch them. And if not, we really don't care.
We don't care. Watch our shows. We got 85
We got great
episodes
shows.
behind here. So
And
much
listen,
shows.
we're getting close, guys. Budgets are being discussed. Contract negotiations are happening. Dave, I don't know what you're gonna do.
I'm ready to sign. I got the pen right here.
Here's the contract. Sign. Rybo's contract is signed down the middle because he just goes sign. Sign. Dave's gonna have to analyze it. You just have to take it to Lon and Tyler Thompson and
yeah.
Glenn and everybody.
Glenn gets the right. If Glenn approves it, I'm in.
Which
Man!
you'll have time. Which
Here's
you'll
what you
have
should
time
do, Dave.
because
You should sign for Anne Of Green Gables money.
Dave will have time to do all that because by the time the contract actually gets to Winnipeg, it's gonna take about 3 or 4
Yeah, the
weeks.
show will already be over.
Yeah.
Hello,
Get
Red
another
Cup.
guy.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys just got our Christmas. It goes to the Winnipeggers.
We're all ready to cut each other's throat already.
Jericho and Red Cup's wacky adventures.
Good
Speedway
show,
and
guys.
Rybo will become the Pete Bests of the Winnipeggers.
Both of us, great.
Yeah.
We have to split the Pete Best money.
Hang on a minute. Oh, it's my lawyer.
Good night, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you, fam.
Right.
Fam.
Love you guys.
See you, fam.